Hi there, we're about to start this project. I'm going to finish this unfinished trestle style table. I just got it from Home Depot. It's 68 inches long by 36 inches wide. You can see it's distributed by Home Depot under their one of their new house brands, and it looks like it's made by this company out of China. This TSCA Title 6 compliance means that it's meets the rules on being low or free of formaldehyde. So let's get started. Okay, back again. Opened up the box, spread out the cardboard, use that to keep the floor clean. You can see this is the underside of the table. It comes, this is the way it came just out of the box. It was all wrapped up in some foam and plastic with lots of styrofoam to keep it safe. But if you look at it, it's about 1.25 inches thick on the edge. It's a little thinner in the middle, maybe 3/4 inch. And it's got this nice reinforcement going lengthwise and crosswise. I would like a little bit more of the thickness to it. So I'm going to sand off whatever coating they put on there to protect it in shipping. It feels just a little bit waxy. I don't know whether that's like a lightweight polyurethane or a shellac. I actually called customer service, asked them what it was, and they couldn't tell me. Anyway, so my plan is I've already cut these strips of good quality, like prime 1x2. And I'm gonna screw and glue these on the edge, and then flush it out with my router, and we'll get a nice built-up edge there, and it'll make it look like a 2-inch thick table instead of that thinner one the way it looks now. And I'm planning on giving this a distressed painted finish using chalk paint, so the slight difference in the wood won't really matter. Alright, back again. I want to show you that I finished gluing and screwing these extra pieces of 1x2 all around the perimeter. Don't have to be very neat about it because I'm gonna route and sand that edge once it's put the feet on and turn it over. But I just want them to be nice and tight, and the joints tight. So I used a big clamp where I had to, use some screws, whatever it took to get it to hold nice and tight together. Okay, so I finished gluing on that extra piece of wood to increase the thickness of the top. And you can see, I think it really matches the beefiness of the legs. Legs have this nice taper design and really sort of solid looking crossbar, and now the top sort of matches that. And, I'm gonna route that edge, get it smooth first, and then put a 1/8 inch radius on the top corner and bottom corner to make it a little gentler on hands and arms, and it'll safer for little ones who might run into it. I just want to show you one of the details. You can see this, the wood that they use is this sort of composite that it's finger jointed together. Lots of little pieces make up all these boards. Some of them are only this long, some of them are a little longer, maybe 8 or 10 inches. But then they've cut these little grooves in there into the tabletop to make it look like it's made out of like 10-inch wide boards. So you got it's a nice feature. When we stain it and do sort of an antique finish, I think you'll just see those wide lines and not all these finger joints. I don't think I would try to stain wood like this, because you probably get a lot of, it's going to absorb stain very differently across every one of these finger joints. And the finger joints themselves, most of them look real good, but there were a couple that I noticed were open. Let me see if I can point one out. So I finished smoothing over this edge using the router. Just use a straight edge and the router to clean up, and you can see, it's nice and smooth. We got the thickness that looks proportional to the beefiness of the legs, and the wood matches pretty well. I'm pretty happy with this. And the next step is to round over this top corner and this bottom corner. Finish rounding over the corners, looks great. Went over it real quickly with some 220 grit sandpaper just to make sure there was no line. Okay, just finished spraying on the second coat of the color. Okay, just finished doing a little distressing with some 220 grit paper, some of it by hand and some of it with my random orbital sander. Okay, here we are after my effort to apply the aged glaze. I'm happy with the result. It's a little unusual product. It goes on real thick like brown spray paint, and then you gotta rub it off. Definitely put it on as light as you can. And it accentuated the wood grain in a few places. It definitely like soaked into the places where I'd sanded through for the aging. So I'm real pleased with the overall effect. We got some real nice details here. It just happened, right? So here I sanded through the finish all the way down to the wood before I started applying the glaze. So the next coat is the clear protective finish, which I'll put on tomorrow.